Hey Mini enthusiasts, how you doing? Welcome back. I hope you're well and I hope you're having a great day. Today we are back on the Racing Green and we're going to be cleaning up and assembling parts to go back into this subframe. So we've got the new hubs, lower arms, the pins, we've done the top arms already. Just need to start getting it all installed. Before we do that, I just wanted to give a bit of an update on some cars. Bit of a rant about Gunk. It's not about Gunk actually, it's about Halfords. You used to be able to buy this stuff in Halfords. They done it in, albeit they were smaller containers, they were 2.5 litre containers. They no longer do this. The only stuff they do is XCP, which is a water-based degreaser. I don't trust it. I've used this stuff for years. It works really, really well. If you want to get hold of some degreaser, you can still get this stuff on eBay. However, I think the price has gone up. This cost me 25 quid for 5 litres. I don't ever recall it being that expensive. And the way I use it is really just put a litre in a cut open container with a brush. It works really, really well. And the great thing about Gunk is once you've cleaned up some parts, you can let it settle, skim off the top, and you can actually use that again. So yeah, for some reason, again, it's another product that Halfords don't seem to do anymore. So by way of a bit of an update, I have sold the Mini Cooper Clubman D, the R56 Mini, the BMW Mini, Binny, whatever you want to call it. That car is gone now, it's gone to a new owner. I was weighing up whether I wanted to keep that car or keep the little Fiesta I've got as well. But my daughter's going to be learning to drive later on in the year. And I think the Cooper Clubman D was Group 16E on the insurance. So it's probably not best. But it's been a fantastic car, that is. I've had it 4.5 years. I've done just over 20,000 miles. And this is unbelievable. I struggle. It's just the price of used cars nowadays is amazing. So I bought that car 4.5 years ago for £4,000. I sold it 4.5 years later with 20,000 miles more for £3,995. So I lost 5 quid for 4 years motoring. But I'm a bit sad to see that car go. They've got a bit of a cult following. It had a lovely interior and it actually was a really practical car. I know it splits opinions, these new Minis, but that Cooper Clubman D, I really, really did like it. It was a great car. So that's gone now. We're now just down to the Ioniq and the Fiesta. The Ioniq's proving to be very good. Maybe I'll do a bit of an update in that. It does, not everyone's cup of tea, but it's proving to be a really good car for me. For any EV people out there, it easily does 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour in a mix of motorway driving and round town driving. Now that's pretty efficient. It's one of the most efficient EVs out there and it means it's really, really cheap to run. So really pleased with how that's going. Also a bit of an update on Sprouts. The Sprout obviously sold, well, it was probably a couple of months ago now. Time's getting on. It's gone to one of the subscribers, Russ. He is absolutely loving the car, getting lots of use out of it, enjoying it, and putting his own stamp on it. So I'm going to put in some pictures here. So Sprout is now in the Isle of Man, and it's done loads of miles. It's really in regular use, which is absolutely fantastic. And as you can see, Russ has put some gold mini light wheels on it with the polished outer rims, and I actually think they look quite good. They complement the car quite well. So yeah, Russ is really enjoying the Mini. I'm glad it got to someone that's going to get some use out of it. So that's that. And also we've done a giveaway probably a couple of years ago now on a boot kit from Stitched Up Interiors, and it was the boot kit we done in Project Sprout at the time. Looked absolutely fantastic, and the giveaway was we gave away a second boot kit to go to one of the winners of the competition. It was won by a guy called Kieron, who was restoring his car at the time. Kieron has got to the point where he's ready to fit the boot kit. So he's fitted it now and he sent me some photos, which I'll stick in here. It looks absolutely great. That red, the red on there, the piping looks absolutely fantastic, to the point I think I'm going to order one for PL now because I missed that boot kit. It looked really, really nice on Sprout and I want to get one in PL as well. So anyway, let's get into this week's video. Let's get these parts refurbished, get the top arms fitted in the subframe, and we'll get one step closer to getting this car back on all 4 wheels. Thanks for tuning back in this week, guys, and I'll catch you again on the next one.
Right, so we're now going to get our arms refitted back in. Just to make life a little bit easier for yourself, don't put the lower bump stop in until after you've fitted the arm. We've already fitted the bump stops, top bump stop, because you can't really get to the nut once the donut is in. And we're going to fit the donut, and we're going to use the compressor to compress it. You can probably do it, because we've got high-lows on now, you can probably do it without compressing the donut, but it will make life a lot easier. Right, so that's our top arms installed back in now. All looking good, all greased up, all tightened up. Obviously we'll adjust the high-lows when we're on the car, but even as it is at the moment with no weight on it, you can't move that arm. The donut's already compressing it down. Now it's really important, it's really worth using the spring compressor to make sure you get the donut aligned at the top and you get the high-low trumpet in, because I have seen quite often actually where it's been misaligned and people have taken the donuts out and there's a witness mark where the trumpet's not been aligned. So it's really worth being a bit more cautious and making sure it's all lined up okay. Right, so the next thing I need to do, lower arms, although I don't have lower arms. Well, I say I don't. I have lower arms, but they're all adjustable and rose jointed ones, and I don't want to put them back on again. I've got a second hand set here, but I don't know much about these. They don't look, don't know what's going on with them. They've got a big sort of weight welded in the middle. I don't know why. I've not measured these lower arms. They could be 1.5 degree negative camber ones. Really not sure. They're the lower arms which come off the car originally. So as you can see, I've got rose jointed tie rods, rose jointed bottom arms and adjustable bottom arms. I want to fit standard ones back on. So I've actually just ordered some second-hand ones off eBay which I can clean up and put on there. But the next job, I think, I need to get the hubs stripped, cleaned up, new bearings in, new swivels in, and then we need to think about what I'm going to do with the brake setup. Wow, bit messy this one. So you can see all the grease on the outside of the CV joint. Obviously that CV's been leaking. The CV joint itself feels really tight, which is could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Obviously if it's loose, it's worn out. But what I have noticed, so only the top swivel had quite a bit of play in it. Bottom one was quite tight, so probably didn't need to do the bottom swivel. But I noticed that the grease seal has failed. So that's, well, in fact, that's probably what all the grease is on the CV joint, not the boot. It'll be the grease seal. You can see this one, they have a spring washer, like a spring inside to keep the seal tight. And on this one, it's failed because there's bits all over. And you actually look down inside there. Don't know how well this will show, but this is obviously, there's big chunks of it inside there, and it was caught up inside the bearing as well. So very good time to be doing this. That bearing would have failed spectacularly with that bits of metal getting ground up inside of it. I just need to knock the races out now, and then we need to, that all needs degreasing, gunking. Well, good timing that really. I've just had, these bearings are not going back in, so don't worry that I've mixed them up. But looks like there's a bit of heat discoloration on there, although not too bad. But obviously that grease seal had failed. And yeah, I just kept finding big bits of the, it's like a tensioning spring for the grease seal. So once that goes, obviously you lose out all your grease, then the bearings run a bit dry and overheat. And if that gets in the bearing itself, it will chew that up. So yeah, it wanted doing. So that's that side stripped. We're not going to be keeping much of this. What was interesting actually is when I unbolted the brake discs, the bolts, I didn't check the torque on them, but the nut gun, it was like they were loose. Can't see any signs of movement on there, but they definitely weren't torqued up very tight. But I need to decide what I'm going to do with the front brake setup. I can't remember. The car has got, I'm going to have to remember now. It's got some John Cooper calipers on it, but they're real old school ones. So I'm not sure. I'm definitely going to go 8.4 inch setup, but I don't know whether I'll go like a vented setup from Mini Sport. Let me know what you think. I mean, the Mini Sport setups are pretty good, I think. Not a bad price either. Yeah, this all just wants cleaning up now. Getting the other side stripped. Right, so that's the painting done on the parts. Like I say, we're using this Nitromors paint instead of Hammerite because Halfords don't do Hammerite anymore for some reason. Don't know why. Anyway, that's much of a muchness. Maybe the Hammerite covers a little bit better, but I'm not convinced, to be honest. It smells exactly the same, goes on exactly the same. And there's all our suspension components. All painted. They look okay. Maybe could do with a second coat in places, but to be honest, it's only the hubs. It's not going to make much difference. We're not going for a concourse car, although I do like it to be very clean. And obviously I've got the pins with lower arms. The reason there's 4 there is I just started cleaning up one set. I had another set spare and I thought I might as well do them at the same time. So there's one less job I've got to do on a future restoration. So just got to wait for them to dry now. The good thing about doing stuff during the summer is that'll be dry in a few hours, whereas in the winter you need to give it at least 24 hours.